Hey, my gosh, happy Thursday. I am going to be hopping over on another page on Instagram. It's the Artist Open House. I'm going to be doing an interview with another couple artists, Lacey and Lauren. So I'm going to throw some makeup on, and I thought this would be a great time, since I'm keeping it very simple, to show a makeup look that is perfect for beginners. Okay, I'm going to be using Saint's One Compact Makeup, but the techniques that I'm showing are going to be great no matter what makeup you're using, okay? So, hey Lacey, I will be seeing you soon. Hey girl, how are you? Hey, welcome. Hi Nancy. Hi Jade. Okay, so the compact I'm using today is the Compact 12. This is actually one of the collections on Saint's site. So this is, again, one palette, but it is double layer. So it has everything I need for my full face outside of my actual tube of mascara, and then that's it. Hey Chelsea, hello. I love you, Lacey. Okay, so I prepped my skin. I have more drier skin, so I did put on a little bit of moisturizer. You want to let that sit in for like 30 seconds to a minute before you apply your makeup. Hey Maria, hello. Hi Lisa. But it's important to prep your skin. So if you have oily skin, using an oil control primer, or just making sure that your face is clean prior to applying your makeup. If it already feels oily, it's not going to, it's not going to do you any favors applying makeup on your oily skin. So just prepping your skin before you start is going to give you the best outcome with your makeup application, no matter what products you're using. Okay, I'm going to be using two brushes. This is the detailed brush and the blush and bronzer brush. In this collection, this is actually bundled together. So if you're interested in any of the products I'm specifically using, you can send me a message, or you can check out the link in my bio. You'll see where it says shop makeup, and you can also find my color match form there. So again, everything's right here, but you can use the techniques I'm going to show you with any makeup. So I'm going to start with my contour. I do everything in one layer. Okay, so this is my foundation, my contour, my blush, illuminator, everything. And I'm not going to do my base layer. I'm going to only use the products where I need them. So the detail brush I'm going to use for my contour. This is my contour shade here. I'm using the color Astoria, and I'm going to apply this in 4 lines. So even if you've never contoured before, you guys, I promise you can do this, okay? Yay, Jessie, so happy to hear that. All right, so the first line we're gonna do is gonna be right underneath our cheekbone, okay? So if you feel for your cheekbone, it's gonna be hard because it's a bone. If you go underneath it, it's squishy, right? It sinks right in. So what you wanna do is cup along that cheekbone. Now, if you're having a hard time finding that exact placement, a good rule of thumb is where the ear connects to the face, not the top of the ear, but where the ear connects to the face, okay? Now, everybody's face shape is different, so I recommend finding where your cheekbone is and then literally hugging right underneath it. But again, you can start right here where that ear connects to the face, and you're gonna draw your line to the outer corner of your eye going towards your nose. Okay, just think about hugging right along the cheekbone. But if you can't imagine that, or you can't feel for it, like you're hooking, like if I was gonna continue this line, I was gonna hook it into my nose, okay? Now, again, it doesn't have to be super complicated. You can even draw it a little bit shorter. You can take it like this. It really just depends on the look that you're going for. This is gonna help to define the cheekbone, so I like to take it right there to the corner of my eye. Okay, there's line number 2. Line number 3, we have a template. We're gonna follow our hairline. So we're just gonna kind of going temple to temple right there along the hairline, okay? And then our last line, which is our largest line, we're gonna follow along our jaw all the way up to the ear, just like that. Okay, and what this line does is it helps to chisel out the jawline. Anybody like a sculpted jawline? I do. If you don't, totally skip that. This is to help chisel out the cheekbones, give you that nice contoured cheek, but also can help lift the cheek. This is gonna help bring dimension to the forehead. It can also help a 5 head look like a 4 head. So a lot of different techniques for contouring, but just these 4 lines is going to level up your makeup game, okay? Hello, Chanel, how are you? Hey, Jessica, welcome. Jill, girl. No, it gets crazy around here. Okay, sorry. I used my Saint moisturizer to prep my skin ahead of time for today. I also have a couple of primers that I really like too for more dry skin. Any dark highlight shades you recommend as a bronzer to get them? Yes, Muse Highlight. Muse, M-U-S-E, is perfect as a total dupe for a bronzer. Okay, let's see. How do you get the neck to match the face? I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. So I always match the face. For me personally, I like to match the face, or the chest is okay too, but the neck is generally lighter than your face because our chin shades our neck from the sun. So you can use a bronzer and take your bronzer down the neck. You can take your highlight shade or your foundation down your neck. It really just depends. You can match your neck, but typically it's lighter. So it's going to be lighter than your chest and it's going to be lighter than your face. Unless you wear makeup regularly or SPF regularly, then your face and your neck might match, but your chest may be a little bit darker. It really just depends on where you live, how much sun you're seeing. So I would take a gauge on yourself personally and see where you're wanting to match up. And then kind of, you're either gonna have to bring it up or bring it down, depending on the shade you wanna go with. Okay, so we got our 4 contour lines. I am not going to be blending them out yet, okay? I'm going to take this brush. I have a microfiber cloth here. I'm just wiping it off. And now I'm going into my highlight shade. So with this collection, it comes with 3 highlight shades. This is my summer or my self tanner shade, my winter shade, and then my brightening shade. So I'm gonna go in with my self tanner shade, my current color right now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a color by numbers, and we're gonna go around the contour, okay? And the cool thing about this line of makeup is it's really user-friendly. You can slap it on. You don't have to be precise. We're going to blend everything in. But again, we're not layering anything. Notice I'm not taking it directly underneath my eye. I'm just going, so I'm leaving this space open because I'm going to take my brightening shade there and I'm leaving the center of my forehead open. Okay, now I will show you this because it's still pretty simple, but some people will say this is not a beginner step, but with this brush right here, it makes it very easy. Okay, so you can see it's kind of shaped like a broom, at least to me, that's what it looks like. So it has a flat edge on the side, right? So what I do, I'm gonna contour my nose. And I'm gonna take the side of this brush, I'm gonna go into my contour and just pick up product right there on the side. And then I'm gonna use this brush as a stencil. I'm gonna lay it down on my nose and then just drag down. Okay, oh, that was a little bit too much, but it's okay. It's cream, so it's very blendable, okay? So I just kind of place it and then drag down. Do you guys see how I'm doing that? And then I'm gonna hook it underneath the bottom. I'm gonna wipe this off because it's got a little bit too much on it. And then whatever's left over, we're just gonna kind of fan it up towards the brow. Okay, it's gonna look real funky at first, but this brush, to me, makes it a little bit easier because I'm using it as a stencil, right? I don't have to freehand 2 lines down the side of my nose. I just saw a question, is it useful for, absolutely. So as we age, I'm in my 30s, but still, doesn't matter. Skin is totally different than when I was in my 20s, but it is our gravity brings our skin down, right? So we can get sagginess around the jaw area, even in our cheekbones, they won't be as lifted. So even adding these little bit of contours can actually give a lifting effect to the face. So they can be very useful as we age. Okay, so wiping off my brush again, I'm now gonna hop into my lightest highlight. So again, these are all 3 the same product, they're just different colors. So I'm hopping into the shade with the small end of this brush, and now remember I left my under eye open. I'm gonna take 2 dots in the inner corner. I'm gonna lift like towards my eyebrow. This is gonna give a lifting effect. Okay, I'm gonna go right there in the center of my forehead. I'm gonna take a little bit down those 2 lines. Notice it's not perfect, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna go on my smile line. If you don't have smile lines, don't worry about it. And I'm gonna go right here in the center of my chin. Okay, now you can go back in with this brush and blend all of this out. So I'll just kind of show you real quick a couple areas. But my favorite thing, again, I haven't blended the contour, so don't worry, don't be scared. My favorite thing to blend, especially under my eyes and on my nose, is my Perfector sponge, okay? Because when you're blending around the eyes, okay, well, number 1, it's gonna fit right there underneath the eyes, but it also pushes the product into the skin. And I don't know about y'all, but right here along my under eye, like really on my cheek and on my nose, I have a lot of larger pores. So when you use a sponge to press your makeup in, again, no matter what makeup you're using, it's just going to help give a really pretty flawless finish to your product. Okay, so I prefer a sponge when blending under my eye, along my cheek area, and on my nose. Okay, I also feel like if you did contour your nose, it's easier to blend out than with a brush. When I blend my contour on my nose with a brush, I can over blend or I can move my lines around, so it's not as easy for me. So I'm gonna pinch my sponge and I'm just gonna start to press up and down. Okay, you don't have to be a makeup artist. I'm literally taking the sponge and pressing it up and down. There's no magic, tricks here, okay? So you can kind of see, if you see me leaning to the side, my mirror is actually behind my phone. So I'm just leaning over a little bit so I can see not just in my phone, but also in my mirror. Let's see. Let me see, make sure I'm not missing any questions. I just had my tummy tuck 2 weeks ago. How long until I can laugh? Oh my gosh, first off, congratulations. And the laughing does take a hot second. I would say probably in your 3rd week, things start to turn for the better, right? 4 week, you should be pretty good. But coughing and sneezing, those muscles, it definitely takes a second. I know, that's the worst, it really is. And the sneezing, oh, that was hard, that was rough. Smile lines. So when you apply them to your smile lines, if you have actual smile lines, adding a brightening shade can actually give an illusion of bringing it forward so they don't look quite as deep. But again, using a sponge to press it in so it's not settling into fine lines. I'm using my sponge dry, but I recommend using it damp. I just never get it wet before I come on, but you can use it either one. Hi, Allison. Okay, I sing everything apparently. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to our contour. Okay, so I'm wiping off my brush again, and I'm gonna go underneath my jawline first, and I'm gonna blend down the neck. Okay, so I'm kind of pushing back and down, just like this. And then for our cheek contour, we're gonna blend up. Again, thinking about lifting the cheekbones, right? Get that really nice lifted, sculpted cheek. Okay, you guys, this brush for contouring is the bee's knees. Okay, even if you're not using this line of makeup, the brush is so good, so good. And then same thing for the hairline. We are going to blend back into the hairline. Now, if you are blonde and you don't want to push the dark product, you can push forward like this. But for me, I like to kind of fade it into my hairline to kind of give that seamless blend. So I personally like to push it back, but whatever your personal preference is, okay? There we go. And then I do like to go in with my sponge one more time. I will conceal my blemishes at the end. If you guys can see any of them still peeking through, I save that until the very last step because there's no sense in concealing and then keep blending. You're just gonna blend away what you concealed, okay? So now I'm gonna go into my bronzer. So here we go. Contour, bronzer. You can see the contour, hopefully you can see it, is more of a cool tone brown. So when you think about your shadow on the ground, it's gray. So when you're creating shadows on the face, like a chiseled cheekbone, a slimmer nose, a defined jaw, you want to use a cooler tone brown. Now I say want to, it's makeup. If you prefer a warmer brown, girl, use a warmer brown, okay? This is just the science behind the cooler tone brown, okay? Now, I personally love a cooler tone brown for contour, and then obviously bronzer, you want it to be warm. You're warming up the skin like you spent the day at the beach, okay? So now comes in my second brush. So I'm gonna go into my bronzer with the large fluffy end. I'm using the color Bella, and I am just going to swirl this around the perimeter of my face, okay? Let me just get my hair out of the way here. So right here above the brow, okay, and then kind of swinging it around, and I'm gonna keep swinging it around, and here's where you could take it down your neck, okay? If you have a lighter neck, you could take it, you could take it down as far as you want, onto your chest, really wherever you wanna go with it, but I always do my neck because it's usually a little bit lighter than my face, okay? So this is gonna give you that bronzed look like we spent the day at the beach, okay? There we go. What are you guys thinking? Are we digging it here? Just blending a little more. Okay, and now I'm gonna add a little bit of my blush. So I'm gonna use, let's see, I have Cindy, Summer Love, and Black Cherry come in my shade collection, or my shade level with this collection. I think I'm gonna use Cindy because it's kind of like pinky for my shirt. So I'm gonna go in with the small side of this brush and I'm gonna tap it above my contour. So I'm gonna give another analogy here. When you do your contour and your blush, and then our last little pop will be our illuminator, I think of it as a 3-layered cake. Or not, I'm sorry, not a 3-layered cake. Not layered, the ice cream, the Neapolitan ice cream. Okay, so you're gonna have chocolate ice cream, you're gonna have strawberry ice cream, and then your vanilla ice cream is gonna be your illuminator, which is right here, right? The kind of glowy one. So chocolate is right under the cheekbone. Strawberry is on top of, or on, I should say on the cheek, and then your illuminator is on top. Okay, so we haven't done the illuminator yet, but I will show you that in just a second. Okay, so now I'm just gonna start pressing this in. I'm still using the small side. You can switch over to the large side and really start to blend that blush in. But I just kind of like to get the bulk of it on with the small side and then blend it in. You can also apply this makeup with your fingers and then blend everything in with a brush. If you guys follow along my page, you have seen me apply it with a brush, with my fingers, all the things, you guys. It's very user friendly. Okay, so there we go. And now I'm gonna go in with my sponge again. I'm gonna go into my illuminator and I'm gonna pop this on top of the cheekbone. So this is gonna give that glow to the skin where you want the glow, right? So you do the top of the cheekbones, you can do the Cupid's bow, you could do the nose, down the bridge, you could do underneath the brow bone to kind of, again, lift underneath the brow. You could do the inner corner of the eyes. If you're wearing a tank top like I am, you can do the ball. Hold on, let me do it with my finger here because I can't really see. I don't know, can you guys see that? Catching in the light. If your collarbones were showing, you could do your collarbones here. But again, it's just gonna bring some luminosity to the skin and glowing in all the right places, okay? Yes, Jessie, I can help you. Just message me. Hey, Karen, welcome. My shade level is 4. I am level 4. Vicky, it is. I'm so happy to hear that. It looks great, and I make it look so easy, okay? It is easy, but the first time I tried it, I did have a little bit of a learning curve because I was used to applying my foundation all over and then layering on bronzer and then my blush. It was a different way of applying the product, but when I really sat down and applied it right where I needed it, after probably my first 3 or 4 times wearing it, I felt like I got in my groove, and then I have just gotten quicker and better with each application. Yes, Allison, I'm using the Ricky mirror behind me. Yes, girl, it is very bright. Okay, so now I'm gonna conceal my blemishes. I mean, they're pretty much concealed. I'm just going to show them a little extra love. So the coverage with these is buildable. So I'm just gonna go back into my main highlight shade and I'm just gonna press over. Now I will say this, and I say it all the time, so sorry for my followers who hear this on the regular, but makeup does not change the texture of your skin. If you have a raised blemish, no matter what you put on it makeup wise, it will not make it flat. Okay, if you have pores, makeup doesn't make them disappear. You can use a sponge to push the makeup in, which literally will push the products into your pores, which helps give a more flawless finish. It can help pores look minimized. You can use a pore minimizing primer, and all that does is the primer fills your pores before you put on your makeup. You'll still be able to see them, it just minimizes them so they don't look as noticeable because they're filled, okay? Makeup, you can do a lot of camouflaging techniques, right? Camouflaging is just like essentially what you're doing with your contour and creating some faux cheekbones and jawline and a slimmer nose. That obviously is not real, it's an illusion. So makeup can 100% create illusions. I don't know if you guys have seen those makeup artists that like transform themselves into different looking celebrities. 100%, you can do all those kind of things, but it doesn't change your skin texture. okay? If you see somebody who has zero pores or just, it's usually, now I'm only saying this because this is obviously, I don't know the exact picture. I'm not calling somebody out, but it's usually a filter, right? Or it's usually some kind of photo enhancement on their phone, right? Everybody has pores, everybody. If you have wrinkles, makeup doesn't make wrinkles disappear, okay? Can makeup make them look worse? Yes, if product is settling into your fine lines and it's just looking 100%, okay? A sponge is gonna be your best friend in those scenarios, okay? Also, setting with a powder can help with the camouflage technique when it comes to blemishes and fine lines. Now, some people might be saying, oh, but powder looks so bad on fine lines. It only looks bad if it is settled into fine lines, okay? So the key is to make sure you use very little powder and you press it out, okay? Press out the powder. So now that I got everything concealed, I am going to be using, this is Charlotte Tilbury's pressed powder, okay? So it's just a compact pressed powder. We do have a powder, this one's well loved. It's Vanilla Dust that pops into your compact, but this powder or a translucent loose powder is my favorite, okay? Hands down. So I'm gonna press underneath my eyes just to make sure I have no product buildup, right? I don't want anything underneath there. I don't wanna set excess makeup underneath my eyes, right? If you have fine lines, which who doesn't, underneath your eyes, I don't want to set my makeup and there's cream product or foundation or whatever underneath my eyes and then just setting it in place. Now I'm going to go back in with the detail brush, the small side, and I'm just going to press that powder right underneath there, okay? Now, again, less is more, especially the older that we get with your powder. So you don't have to use a ton of powder, you guys. It can be very lightly set. I'm actually gonna go in with my larger blush and bronzer brush and set the rest of my face. And notice I'm just pressing, okay? I am not swirling. I already put my makeup exactly where I want it. I don't wanna swirl it around. I just wanna set everything in place, okay? So I'm just pressing. And then once you set with powder, we're done. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit on my lips. But if you wanna go back in, now you don't wanna go in with your highlight or anything like that, but I wanna add a little bit more blush. So I'm gonna tap in to my blush color here, which this is Cindy, and I'm just gonna punch it up a little bit. I'm a blush gal. I love some blush, okay? If you don't worry about that. You could add more bronzer, whatever floats your boat here, but just a little bit. And then I think I am gonna add just a little bit more of my bronzer right here to the high points of my forehead, okay? You guys feeling me on that? A little bit goes a long way. Okay. There we go. Now let's see. Did I miss any questions? This one is the Airbrush Flawless Finish in the color One Fair, Maria. Let's see. Editing changes skin texture, yes. Patrick Starr, I haven't, but now I want to. I love Patrick Starr. I have not tried it. It's on my list. I will get it to try. Let's see. My bad. I was thinking Patrick. Oh my God. Yes, from SpongeBob. That's the best. Oh, you're so funny. Maria, thank you. Hi from Boston. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a little bit on my lips real quick. I am going to use another brush. I said I was only going to use two. And actually, let me show you. You can do this, okay? And I'm taking my bronzer to line my lips. Okay, so it's just a little bit trickier with your finger, especially if you have finer lips, thinner lips. It's hard to do with your finger, but I like a little more of a messier line, a kind of like a smudgy line. It makes the lips appear fuller. But if you do have thinner lips and you like to line your lips, you can use the multitasker brush, which is what I was gonna use, but I said I was only gonna use 2 brushes. But this little brush right here, okay, does so good. It's called the multitasker because it does a lot. It doesn't just line lips. You can fill in your brows, you can do your eyeliner, fill in your brows, eyeliner, all the things. It's really good. So if you're looking for a good detailed brush, this one's awesome. And then I'm just gonna go back into Cindy, and you can do this with your finger, but you can also do it with the brush. The brush tacked on a little bit more. I'm not really a pink girl on the lips though, so I like to add a little bit of Bella, my bronzer, or you could do your contour, either one. I line right outside of my natural lip line. As the day go on, my skin looks a little blushy. What am I doing wrong? Okay, if you're using this product specifically and your makeup isn't lasting, usually it's a couple things. It could be a shade issue. Okay, so if you feel like you have to use more to get coverage and you feel like it's not lasting, whether that's your blush, your contour, or your highlight, it's a shade issue. Okay, you want to shade up. Okay, if you feel like the shade is spot on, but it's just not lasting, it could be if you have oily skin, you want to make sure that you set with a powder. And then I recommend Charlotte Tilbury. Again, this is the same brand, but this is her Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Dude, it's amazing. Highly recommend. 10/10 recommend that setting spray. Even if you don't set with powder, so I always recommend setting a cream with a powder, but you can set with just a spray if you like a really dewy look. You can set with just the spray, but I just do a little bit of powder and the spray. And you guys, my makeup, I live in Florida, so it's hot, it's humid. I've worn it to Disney World in the dead of summer. I mean, literally all the things. I've worn it when I work out. I do not recommend that. I mean, hey, if you want to, you want to, but I try not to work out in my makeup just because my skin is already terrible. But I have done it, and it stayed and looked awesome, minus the sweat that I had to blot away afterwards. Okay, so now I'm just applying a lash primer. This is L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. You can get this at any drugstore. It's bomb, you guys. I usually grab it from Target while I'm there. And you want to let that set for a second. And then I have been using and loving Lancome's Idol Lash. So this Sephora, Ulta, Dillard's, Macy's, Belk, anywhere that says Lancome. It's a pretty amazing mascara. So I'm not gonna fill in my brows because the interview starts in 4 minutes. It's right here on Instagram. If you go to my stories, I tagged the account. It's the Artist Open House. We're gonna be talking about the artist side of Saint, which is the product line that I'm using. I'm an artist with them. So if you've ever been interested in the business side of Saint, you should go and follow along. You can watch the replay. So if you can't hop on here in literally 3 minutes, then you can go back to the page and we will have the replay up. I will post this on my feed, so you can watch the replay if you didn't catch the whole thing, or if you just want to rewatch it. It will stay on my feed, but I hope you guys like this. I just wanted to break it down a little bit and do something fairly simple. And again, just give kind of tips and techniques that you can use no matter what products you're using. And then I also want to show you guys the collection. This is the number 12 collection, because if you're starting out with this makeup, it comes with both of those brushes that I used and everything that you need for a full face. Eyeshadows, your eyeliner. The only thing it doesn't come with is a setting powder. So you could add the vanilla dust or pick up your favorite, any setting powder would work. Okay, sorry y'all. I'm getting like picky with my lashes here. Okay, but we're done, you guys. All right, there we go. I hope you liked it. I'll see you guys over on the Artist Open House page, hopefully. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I am wearing a Madison braid headband. You can actually use my code Jessica Wilson Beauty. That'll save you money if you're interested. Okay, all right, ladies, I have got to go. Oh, I see one more question. The lash serum I use is the Lash Therapy by Hello Skincare. Hello Skincare Lash Therapy. I have a code with them as well. I've actually been using it for almost 3 years, you guys. It's bomb. My code is Jessica20. That'll save you 20% on their 3-month or 6-month. But I love you all so much. Thank you for hopping on. I will see you guys in literally 1 minute. Bye.